The Los Angeles Dodgers were left in absolute shock during their highly anticipated matchup against the Milwaukee Brewers. What was expected to be a thrilling regular season game suddenly turned into one of the most talked about moments of the entire baseball season. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest superstar in all of baseball, became the center of a violent and shocking incident that nobody saw coming. The entire stadium fell silent before erupting into chaos. What exactly happened on that field? Who was responsible? And how did the Dodgers respond when their most prized player was targeted? When the Dodgers and Brewers took the field, the atmosphere was already electric. Both teams had plenty to play for, and the competitive tension between the two sides was clearly visible from the very first inning. Fans inside the stadium were buzzing with excitement, fully expecting a clean and intense battle between two talented rosters. Nobody could have predicted that the evening would take such a dramatic and frightening turn. The incident that shook the entire baseball world occurred in a moment that many witnesses described as completely unnecessary and deliberate. A Brewers player made a vicious and dangerous play directly targeting Shohei Ohtani. The hit was so aggressive and so clearly intentional that players from both dugouts immediately reacted. Within seconds, the tension that had been building throughout the game finally exploded into something that nobody in that stadium will ever forget. Will Ohtani be seriously injured after this terrifying incident? Will the Brewers player face serious consequences for what he did? How will the Dodgers organization respond to seeing their Japanese superstar targeted in such a violent way? As the play unfolded, everyone inside the stadium immediately understood that something had gone very wrong. Eyewitnesses in the crowd described the moment as sudden and brutal. 1 second the game was moving at its normal pace, and the next, Shohei Ohtani was on the ground and players from both teams were rushing onto the field. The benches cleared almost instantly. Coaches, players, and even team staff poured onto the field as the situation spiraled completely out of control. Media personnel who were present at the game confirmed that they had never seen the Dodgers dugout empty so quickly. The moment Ohtani went down, his teammates did not hesitate even for a single second. Every single player on the Dodgers roster rushed to the field to defend their star and express their outrage at what had just happened. It was a show of unity that sent a very clear message to the entire league. Freddie Freeman, who was one of the first players to reach the scene, was visibly furious. Sources close to the team revealed that Freeman immediately confronted the Brewers player responsible for the vicious hit. Freeman, known throughout the league for his calm and professional demeanor, was completely unrecognizable in that moment. His anger was raw and genuine, and it reflected exactly how every single person in the Dodgers organization was feeling at that very moment. Mookie Betts also rushed onto the field and was seen shouting at the Brewers players. Betts, who has always been one of the most composed and level-headed players in the Dodgers clubhouse, could not contain his emotions when he saw what had happened to his teammate and close friend. According to players who were present on the field, Betts made it very clear to the Brewers that what their player had done was completely unacceptable and would not be forgotten. The benches remained cleared for several tense minutes as umpires and coaching staff worked desperately to restore order. The crowd inside the stadium was divided between shock and outrage. Many fans were on their feet, screaming in the direction of the Brewers' dugout. Security personnel moved quickly through the stands to ensure that the chaos on the field did not spread further. For several long and uncomfortable minutes, it was genuinely unclear whether the game would even be able to continue. Manager Dave Roberts was seen storming out of the dugout with an expression that left absolutely no room for interpretation. Roberts immediately approached the umpires and made it very clear that he expected the situation to be handled appropriately. According to reporters who were positioned near the dugout at the time, Roberts was absolutely furious and demanded that the Brewers player responsible for the hit be removed from the game immediately. Roberts made his position very clear. What happened to Ohtani was not a baseball play. It was a personal attack on his player, and he was not going to stand by quietly while it went unpunished. After order was finally restored and the situation on the field calmed down, Roberts addressed the media directly. He confirmed that the play on Ohtani was completely dirty and had no place in professional baseball. Roberts said that when he saw Ohtani go down, his first instinct was not to think about the game or the scoreboard. His first thought was whether his player was okay. He said that Ohtani's health and safety will always come before anything else, and that the Dodgers organization will be pushing very hard for serious consequences to be handed down by Major League Baseball. As the medical staff attended to Ohtani on the field, a hush fell over the entire stadium. The Japanese superstar, who always carries himself with extraordinary calm and professionalism, was clearly shaken by the impact. Trainers surrounded him immediately, and the entire Dodgers roster watched anxiously from nearby. Every player on the field understood that what was happening in that moment was far more important than any baseball game. Sources close to the team revealed that Ohtani was visibly in pain but refused to leave the field without first acknowledging his teammates. Even in that difficult moment, the man who is considered the greatest baseball player on the planet showed the kind of character and heart that has made him beloved not just in Los Angeles but across the entire world. His teammates, watching from just a few feet away, were deeply moved by his response. After receiving initial treatment on the field, Ohtani was escorted off by the medical staff to receive a full evaluation in the clubhouse. The mood in the Dodgers dugout shifted completely. Players who had been visibly emotional just minutes earlier now sat quietly, their eyes fixed on the tunnel through which their teammate had disappeared. The question that nobody wanted to ask but everybody was thinking was the same. How serious is the injury? When will Ohtani be able to return to the field? Following the game, the baseball world erupted on social media. Clips of the vicious play and the bench-clearing brawl spread across every platform within minutes. Former players, analysts, coaches, and fans all weighed in with their reactions, and the overwhelming consensus was one of outrage and disbelief. Many veteran players stated that the play on Ohtani was one of the dirtiest things they had ever seen in professional baseball. Several prominent voices in the sport called on Major League Baseball to act swiftly and decisively to send a clear message that this type of behavior would not be tolerated. The Brewers organization released a brief statement acknowledging the incident but stopped short of offering a direct apology. Many in the baseball community found this response completely inadequate given the severity of what had occurred. The pressure on the league to take action grew stronger by the hour as more and more voices joined the chorus demanding accountability. Major League Baseball confirmed late that evening that they would be reviewing the incident and that a formal decision regarding possible suspensions and fines would be announced in the coming days. The entire baseball world will be watching closely to see how the league handles one of the most shocking moments of the current season. Inside the Dodgers clubhouse after the game, the atmosphere was heavy but filled with a strong sense of togetherness. Players gathered around and checked on one another. Everyone understood that what had happened that night had brought the team even closer together. Freeman addressed the group and reminded his teammates that the best response they could give was to come back stronger and fight for every game from this point forward. Manager Dave Roberts ended the night by delivering a message of support for Ohtani and his family, as well as a firm statement directed at the rest of the league. He said that the Dodgers are a family, and when someone attacks one member of that family, the entire organization responds together. He promised that Shohei Ohtani would receive every resource and every form of support necessary to return to the field as quickly and as safely as possible. The Dodgers and the baseball world now wait anxiously for updates on Ohtani's condition and for Major League Baseball to deliver justice. One thing is absolutely certain. This incident will not be forgotten anytime soon. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information.